Namaste, angels. This will be our weekly general reading for the period of Sunday the 3rd through Saturday, June 9th. Happy birthday to all the Geminis. Again, I know I did you guys in May, but now all the June Geminis, the second deacon, I think, of Gemini, because the May ones would have been the first. I believe this is the second. I'm in the third. In any case, let's get right into it, going straight to what's going on in the spiritual world this week, because I don't really think we have much to discuss before the reading. So I'm anxious to, pretty much get straight to it for a change. I'm going to skip by. There's some saints days, Sunday through Thursday. Skipping those. Friday, the feast day of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Followed by Saturday, a feast day in honor of his mother, the Immaculate Heart of Mary. So those 2 days back to back, a celebration of the Blessed Mother and her son, specifically with regard to their heart, their love for God, God's love for them. As far as us all, I will remind you all that on the Hebrew calendar, it is the month of Sivan. So it is the month that God is believed to have given Moses and the Jewish people the Torah, also showing God's love for them. And they spend this month celebrating in return their love for God and giving thanks and gratitude for having received the Torah. Similarly, it is still the month of Ramadan, where during that period, Muhammad was given he was given the entire Quran. Specifically celebrated on June 10th is the night on which he was given the first verses of the Quran. So it'll be Ramadan through the 15th, and it'll be Sivan, I believe, through the 15th as well. And I think they started on the same day too, which was also the day after the new moon, if I remember correctly. All right, so let's get into what the Sacred Heart of Jesus is about. I'm going to take that from wikipedia.com. The devotion to the Sacred Heart, also known as the Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, is one of the most widely practiced and well-known Roman Catholic devotions, taking Jesus Christ's physical heart as the representation of his divine love for humanity. The devotion is predominantly used in the Roman Catholic Church and is a modified way among some High Church Anglicans, Lutherans, and Eastern Catholics. The devotion is especially concerned with what the Church deems to be long-suffering love and compassion of the heart of Christ toward humanity. I'll just throw in a tidbit in there, since they mentioned long-suffering love. In the scriptures, there are two beings who are said to have been known as in like a nickname or something, the long-suffering. That is Jesus, and that is Archangel Michael. Additionally, while we're on the subject of Archangel Michael is the only archangel referred to in the scriptures, not just as an archangel, but as the archangel. Kind of like how the name that was given to me, and I'm not just a light worker, my name is Queenofswords, the light worker, that came from the divine. Just throwing that in there as a piece of trivia if you're ever on Jeopardy. I will add, since I said all that though, if we are made in his image, if we all believe, and by his, I don't even necessarily mean Jesus. I mean God, his, hers, the universes. If you believe that we are made in the image of the Most High, the Most Divine, the Creator, and those beings, that source, or what's said to be an incarnation of that source, is the long-suffering, known as the long-suffering. You're made in this image. What do you expect in your life? So when we question, like if we're divine beings and, we're at all anointed in any way or chosen, why do we have to go through all this struggle? Why so much pain? Why so much hurt? It is part of being, it's part of the prophecies. It's part of the scriptures. It's part of the journey. It's all written that that's the way it is to be and was to be. Even if you look at other parts of scripture, again, in any of the the major religions, Christian, Judeo, Abrahamic. You look at the scriptures and they talk about, the people being in bondage, the chosen people of God. They will be in bondage. They will be exiled for a number of years before they return to grace. So that's what the struggling is about. All right, I'll get back to this. The popularization of this devotion in its modern form is derived from a Roman Catholic nun from France, Saint Margaret Mary Alacoque, who was said to have learned the devotion from Jesus during a series of apparitions to her between the years of 1673 and 1675. So apparitions means she's saying, or she is said to have had Jesus actually appear to her. That's what apparition means. And it says, and later in the 19th century, from the mystical revelations of another Roman Catholic nun in Portugal, Blessed Mary of the Divine Heart, a religious of the Good Shepherd, who was requested in the name of Christ that Pope Leo the 13th consecrate the entire world to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Predecessors to the modern devotion arose unmistakably in the Middle Ages in various facets of Catholic mysticism, particularly with Saint Gertrude the Great. And of course, this goes on. That's the end of this section, or the introduction as to what the Sacred Heart is about. But if you want to read further the description, the early devotions about the saints involved, and plenty more. I'm still scrolling. I found this on wikipedia.org. The next day, Friday, again, we'll be celebrating the feast day of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Those of us interested in doing that. And what the Immaculate Heart of Mary is a devotional named that used to refer to the interior life of the Blessed Virgin Mary, her joys and her sorrows, her virtues and her hidden perfections, and above all, her virginal love for God the Father, her maternal love for her son Jesus, and her compassionate love for all people. The Eastern Catholic churches occasionally utilize the image, devotion, and theology associated with the Immaculate Heart of Mary. However, this is a cause of some controversy, some seeing it as a form of liturgical Latinization. The Roman Catholic Church view is based on Mariology, as in like Mary, or Mariama, the full name. It's spelled here Mariology. Her original name, historic, as far back as they can go historically, is Mariama, like my own. In any case, the Roman Catholic view is based on Mariology as exemplified by Pope John Paul II's apostolic letter. Traditionally, the heart is depicted pierced with 7 wounds or swords in homage to the 7 dolours of Mary. Also, roses or another type of flower may be wrapped around the heart. I'll tell you what the 7 dolours of Mary are. It's connected to Our Lady of Sorrows. Our Lady of Sorrows, Our Lady of Dolours, the sorrowful mother, or Mother of Sorrows, and Our Lady of Piety, Our Lady of the 7 Sorrows, or Our Lady of the 7 Dolours are names by which the Virgin Mary is referred to in relation to sorrows in her life. So she too was long suffering. All right, so that said, let me go to what's going on in the planet. I think there was nothing major that I wanted to mention celestial system either. I mean, there'll be minor transits, but you can find those out from your, astrologer of choice. Yeah, we had on May 29th, the full moon in Sagittarius, of course. At the same day, Mercury entered Gemini. That was all last week. And as far as these major transits that I wanted to mention, I have my next one here as being June 12th, when Mercury enters Cancer. So that's it on that. But again, yeah, those of you who are into checking your scopes and stuff, I checked mine the other day. Well, it's weird. It just kind of turned up. But I typically don't, because I feel like it doesn't necessarily apply to divine beings, the traditional astrology and even traditional readings. I think very specifically, tarot readings too need to be done by an instrument of the divine, by somebody who is illumined and or a member of the elect. It's 2:22 in the afternoon exactly. I just was made to look at that. And or a member of the elect, because that's, to whom these readings are speaking, and it shouldn't be anybody else. I see all kinds of stuff, supposed like doctors of psychology and whatnot. And this isn't psychology. This isn't psychology at all. This is spirituality, and this is prophecy. In any case, let's get to the dice. I just finished at 10:10, by the way. 10 minutes, 10 seconds in will be to where you'll fast forward, those of you who don't want to hear me. I'm starting with, it's 50-50. Speaking of 10, massage and cocktail. Spirit says, stay in bed. 29, which represents spiritual partnership, of course. Not necessarily romantic, just spiritual partnership. And forget it. So like if something was weighing on you, there's something you need to release, let it go, basically, is the message I'm getting with that. All right, so I'm going to go to the Angel Tarot. I'm beginning with the Page of Water, and I got to mention to you that speaking of a sword and heart rather, with swords going through it, like the Immaculate Heart of Mary, I shuffled to the Three of Swords a couple times in this reading, as I was shuffling, preparing for this reading rather, and then opposite the Page of Water. So there could be some pain, some hurt, sadness maybe, a situation involving a child and or a water sign, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, and or a water sign that is more youthful, younger than yourself, and then even more specifically, quite possibly a Pisces. Opening to the Page of Air, who's logical, honest, impulsive, and curious, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. The Page of Air is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes that may be in some sort of connection or relation to a Page of Water, Page of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Page of Air, and opening to Awakening, speaking of Pisces. See, nothing comes out of my mouth or is made, to be looked at by me, put in my face, make sure I see it and I notice it by accident. Awakening, or the Hanged Man in the tarot, represents the planet Neptune for me, and therefore the sign of Pisces, again, which it rules. Look at things from a different perspective. You got a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. Page of Air. So that Hangman is about an air of suspension. Opening now to the Four of Air. So we may have moved past that hurt. It could be maybe recovering this week from a hurt that involved, again, perhaps a child or a water sign or a Pisces specifically. Time to rest, to take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. Decision may be involved in an air sign. Opening to the Ten of Earth, a very happy family life. Financial security, finding magic in the little things in life. Page of Air, I'll go one more. Wait. Okay, so here's evidence of the need to make a decision again. You see the way that popped out. Being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. The Two of Air is like an energy of inaction. All right, it's like, again, where a decision needs to be made. So now we've seen two cards to that effect, both the Four and the Two. But right now we're not doing anything. Now, the other card to which they're making me open, the Knight of Air. The Knight of Air also means that there's a need to make a decision. Intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless is the Knight of Air. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions. So, a choice is going to be put in your face. It's going to show up rapidly. Now, you may get that moment, that air of suspension from the hangman, where in that moment you can stop and be honest with yourself and really decide what it is you want. It's important to be honest with yourself. It's crucial in that period. And then when you're met with the decision, with the it's the moment of truth, so to speak, or the clock runs out, you'll be ready. And and again, with having had yourself in mind in an honest way. Page of Air, I'm going to cut. So, of course, the Page of Air, the Knight of Air, rather, like the Page, is also a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be representative of Mercury. I just mentioned that last week, Mercury entered Gemini, which it rules. Coming to the Three of Fire. Abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. The Three of Fire is about, we started with one wand and we made a plan. We put that stake in the ground. It's official. It's a plan. We stuck another one in the ground that represented our faith, and we held on to that idea and kept thinking about it in a positive way in order to manifest it. And then here comes more proof that it's actually happening, the third wand, and then we're just waiting for the fourth. So we're patiently waiting for our ship to come in, as they say. Can also have something to do with a party of three. Not necessarily a love triangle, but that's a possibility too. Had to show you the cards that remain sticking up in my hand as I shuffled, after I was done. The High Priestess, which for me represents the sign of Gemini as well. Could be, Venus or another variation of that being herself. Perhaps Mary, Isis, whoever you want to put in, think of as the mother, the High Priestess. Well, even in the traditional tarot, Isis is the High Priestess. She's even depicted and illustrated on there. But anyway, listen to your intuition, have patience, and consider carefully what you want before acting. Okay, that's what's important when the High Priestess shows up. She has come into information, or she has information, maybe just through her intuition. She's like knowing, right? She's clear, cognizant. She doesn't reveal all her cards, so to speak, right away. She waits, especially if she has a decision to make. So also standing up, the Chariot. The High Priestess can also represent water signs. Did I say that? If not, Gemini for me. The Chariot representing one of those as well, the sign of Cancer. This could be Venus in Cancer. Something that also happened recently. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower. Public recognition. The Chariot is a major card of victory. It represents movement. Moving forward, whether it is literal or metaphorical, right? Somebody could actually be moving from one place to another, whether it's home or job, relationship maybe. It can represent planes, trains, automobiles. It's success. Everything wonderful, basically. I'm sorry, not this one. Well, maybe it's meant to see this one now. The Six of Fire is also about victory, and it's behind that, although upside down. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. Maybe that victory is connected to a partnership. 29. Wow. Okay. I guess I'm supposed to show you guys these. The Two of Water, a relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. We can see behind that is also Major Arcana card number 6. The Lovers, which represents the sign of Gemini yet again. Important relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. All right, putting these back in the order in which they were. And just mentioning lastly, the Magician with Archangel Raziel. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them, and life is magical. The Magician, too, represents the sign of Gemini for me. It can also represent the other mutable signs, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius. And lastly, I'm sure you guys see what I see. Being shown Major Arcana card number 19 as well. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. Major Arcana card number 19 is the Sun, which represents the sign of Sagittarius, which I just mentioned in connection to the mutable signs. That was upside down. Behind it, they were also showing me the Six of Earth, gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off debts. The Six of Earth represents for me the planet Venus, ruler of Taurus, Libra, and Gemini, and is about unconditional love, whether it's about material things, financial, or actual relationships of any kind, familial, friendship, romantic. It is about unconditional love, giving and or receiving without agenda. New beginning, Ace of Fire, also there. Okay, I could do this all day. And there's our Three of Fire. Did you see me just go like that with the Three of Fire? It was right behind it. Okay. Crowning the masculine this week, the Two of Earth, another indication of a need to make a decision. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. Two of Earth can also be deja vu from hell, as you guys know from me. Like coming to the same place. Excuse me. Maybe that's what maybe they're trying to tell me that's what it is this week for the most part. It's deja vu from hell. We keep going around in circles, right? Getting to the same spot. Like, why do we always end up here, and why can't we get past it? Also, there's a need to like find time for yourself and balance in your life. Too much work makes Jack a dull boy. You got to find time for social interactions and your relationships as well. Surrounding the masculine is the Ten of Fire. Too much work. So I just said maybe you're doing too much work. This can be about working too many hours, too many days, a second job, all that kind of stuff. And you may need to reevaluate, you know, and take your health into consideration while you do it, and your relationships with people while you do it, and decide if that, you know, if it remains a good idea for you. That may be what your decision is. I got to decide if I can keep working like this, or if it's going to cost me my marriage or whatever. Too much work. Accept help from others. Life is out of balance, and that causes stress-related health concerns. We also had in the dice this week, when I began, it's 50-50. So this is about needing to share the load too, and to find balance. Even if you are the one holding all the wands, hold 5 in this hand, hold 5 in this hand. Not all 10 on your back. At the root, the 5 of Water, things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive in a situation, and crying over spilled milk. This could be connected to Mary, since we're this week, there is a celebration or recognition of her sorrows, right? And this is sort of sorrow, pessimism, loss. But mostly for me, it is an attitude not of gratitude. It is being ungrateful and arrogant and being stuck in the energy of, oh, what was me? And in this placement, the masculine subconscious, it really is a figment of your mind, something that you can release, not something that you're actively going through. Crowning the feminine, very nice. It's the 4 of Fire, contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, and the successful completion of a project. Having seen the Chariot, some of us could be moving. This could be about commitment, even marriage. June is a huge month for engagements and marriage. It's also about working on your home, I'm feeling. Maybe some of us like cleaning out our closets and stuff like that. How you say, decluttering, I feel, with this too, for the feminine. Surrounding the feminine, the 10 of Air, mirroring the masculine's 10 of Fire. Interesting. The end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Somebody may even be recovering from an addiction, maybe you or somebody, to whom you're connected. And that addiction doesn't have to be substance abuse, or it can be. It can be that and something else, as a matter of fact. But anything upon which we are codependent. So any relationship that is toxic, anything that we feel we can't do without in an unhealthy way is an addiction. And it's the end of that. So we have to really believe and have that faith that that's not going to happen anymore. And we are moving into a different place. Feminine subconscious. The Six of Air. I love when these cards are together because I often use them to describe each other. The Six of Air is also, it's reconfirmation of what we just read with the Ten of Air, that it's the end of this situation. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. So if you didn't believe it here you go again. Somebody may even be taking a trip. This too could be connected to the Chariot, which we just saw, right? And which can be about travel, vacations too. Also popular in the month of June, in the summer months period. Crowning the Union. The Dreamer or the Fool, which in this deck represents, again, for me, the sign of Gemini, as well as Virgo. In addition this time, because it represents the planet Mercury. Mercury rules both of those. But again, Mercury moved into Gemini the end of last week. So that could be very well why this is showing up. A leap of faith. Follow your dreams. That leads to unexpected opportunities. So crossing the Ten of Air for the feminine, for example, not to believe that whatever this opportunity is not going to come true, that it's not safe for you to jump in. If you're guided to jump in, jump in. Believe that it's the end of the difficulty. Same thing goes for you, masculine. Not to believe, if I jump at that, I'm probably still going to be holding these wands in my back. No, if you're guided to take the leap, take the leap and trust that you will not be, right? That it's the end of this situation. And this may be like the, how the end comes about. By you leaving this energy behind and moving on to this new one, starting from zero, cipher. Supreme math, zero cipher. At the root, the Ace of Air. After the 10 comes the Ace, right? After 10 comes 11 or 1 in cards, including tarot. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation, and a challenging beginning is possible. Why is it a challenging beginning? Because it was difficult getting here, but we just learned that. So the point is that we're beginning nonetheless. And that goes for both of us. We're beginning nonetheless. This is the end of this and a new start. So that's what's important. But if you want to remember where you came from, that sort of thing, that's cool too. At the heart of the matter, renewal. This is where we're going. So isn't this more important? Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction as this relates to maybe money and work. There's healing for you too. Crossing the Two of Earth, maybe connected to work. We're due some sort of raise, recognition, award, reward. Crossing the Four of Fire could mean the same thing. This is, what we're getting. This is our gift for having worked. It's not a freebie. It's what we've earned. When the renewal shows up, it's similar to the Three of Earth for me. It's abundance that's earned, whether it's financial, material, love, a combination of those. Nobody's doing you a favor. You earned it. You went through whatever you had to go through to get to this point. As it relates to judgment, like a general energy, it's about being overly judgmental, which we may be doing with the Ten of Fire here and the Ten of Air here. Either of us could be doing that. Overly judgmental on yourself or anybody else. The masculine could certainly be doing that with judgment, also crossing this Five of Water. This, oh, woe is me. I'm so down. I'm so miserable. As it relates to relationships of any and all kinds, it's about having come to a crossroad to decide where do we go from here, if anywhere. So some of us are going forward in a new beginning. We're taking a leap of faith. We're jumping in. Some of us, a relationship may be ending with somebody. That could be, upon what or whom we were codependent. That could be, who was failing to take the other half of the burden. to work with us. We could be leaving that behind, whether it's a work relationship, a friendship, a romantic relationship. Something could be ending here. And it looks like maybe very well be. And the masculine thinking about how that's coming to an end. He's, oh, poor him. He's only going to be left with these two beautiful cups. Further clarifying these, I'm going to another tarot deck. It's the animal tarot, beginning with the Two of Spring, or the Two of Wands. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors, or to expand the number of people helping you. Right? Dole out some of this work. You don't have to do it all yourself. Opening 2. The Princess of Summer. So this is that same page of water with which I started. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced is the Princess of Summer. Also a Pisces, yet again, Cancer or a Scorpio, somebody likened to those traits or attributes. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. That someone may be a water sign. And it can be some sort of partnership, maybe a date. Again, whether it's platonic or romantic, opposite the Two of Spring. A date, a meeting. Princess of Summer. And opening to the Three of Autumn, about which I was just talking. Abundance that is earned. Your most satisfying and profitable career and relationship comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. Three of Autumn. And it's the Three of Summer. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. I don't have to say with all these threes, you know, they could all potentially represent some sort of party of three. Now's your moment to step up to a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. The King of Spring is inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise, and can be a representation of the divine masculine, specifically in the tarot. This can also represent the signs of Leo, the lion, Sagittarius, Aries, maybe even Scorpio, with both Aries and Scorpio being ruled by Mars, currently in Aquarius. So making us get moving on freedom, seeking our freedom, achieving our freedom. Breaking away from things, that could be where judgment comes in, that don't serve us anymore. This was difficult. This was hard. This didn't work. You didn't help me. It wasn't 50-50. I was codependent. You were codependent upon me. It was sick. I'm out of this. Could absolutely represent that. It also represent the planet Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, also connected to the fixed signs, which again would be Leo. Also Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. And the Four of Autumn. Be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building up walls that keep people out. Three of Summer, I'm going to cut. And it's the Ten of Autumn, our second time seeing one of these. Contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. That Ten of Autumn may have also represented a lump sum. Okay, it can be this abundance that we earned. It's coming in the form of a lump sum or something material, like the Four of Fire. Could be a new home or something, or a relationship. For the masculine, he may need to make a decision. He's got these two twos crossing one another. They may have to do a partnership. The Two of Earth crossing Major Arcana card number 20, which is in itself another two. So yeah, he may have to make a decision involving a partnership and having earned abundance in that form. And speaking of earning abundance, it's the 8 of autumn, which is all about reaping what we've sown. It's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work, and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement, but also relationship advancement. Any work that we put in, wherever we put in, we will receive the rewards for that. Atop the 2 of earth, and that decision we have to make, the sun is back. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. So this is confirmation that yes, you're going to be receiving that award or reward of which I just spoke. Again, the sun represents a sign of Sagittarius, and this benefit to you can be coming from Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius. Can also represent another fire sign that may be involved here, especially with the 2 of earth sitting atop the 10 of fire. Speaking of that 10 of fire, atop it is the 7 of summer. So another indication that the masculine needs to make some sort of decision. He's got options maybe, or dreams, different goals that he'd like to achieve. Something involving children is also a possibility. It's time to stop procrastinating and to make a decision so that you can move forward with a priority. If you need to do more research, do so, but don't overthink the situation. Listen to your heart, as has come up in this reading already. Atop the 5 of water, the 8 of winter. It's so easy to convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. I think this is, again, being trapped in a mindset of, oh, woe is me. Both of these cards falling into the placement of the masculine subconscious, you can get out of them. Okay, so you're convincing yourself that you're trapped when you're really not. Trust that God will lift you to new heights. Stop being pessimistic. Try to move into optimism instead, and some faith and some trust. Trust that you'll be uplifted by the universe to new heights, give you a greater self-confidence, and help you to achieve your freedom if you first affirm it. So getting back to, again, Mars, ruler of Scorpio, currently in Aquarius, moving us to seek and also to achieve our freedom. We have to start it. If we start to push, to exit out of this door that's already open, then Mars will be there saying, come on, come on. Just another step, another step. It'll help us. Atop the 4 of fire, the 9 of winter. So fears surrounding whatever this success, otherwise it's a successful thing is for the feminine. Again, it's a relationship. It is, some sort of commitment. It's some sort of project that she has completed that she should be proud of. It's joy. Whatever it is, it's joy. It's peace. It's contentment. She's anxious, though, still about something. Your worries and fears aren't real. Could be attached to a home. Again, this could be attached to a move, a home, and she might think it's not going to materialize. Your worries and fears aren't real. They're fueled by focusing on the negative, which give power to that of which you're afraid. So stop worrying, let go of fear, and everything will be okay. Think positive, basically. Atop the 10 of air, and maybe that's why she's feeling funky, because she has been recently surrounded by this 10 of air. It's like things have been difficult. Things haven't been going right. So, why should I feel like this is finally going to go right? Because we're being shown that that things are getting better. The 8 of spring is another signifier of that. 8 of spring means that things are happening in the background. Things are moving. Wands are a card, an energy of movement. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel stressful, that can be what this 9 of winter is representing as well. You've got this wonderful thing that's happening for you. We've got several wonderful things happening for you. And so it's stressful. Like next week, I'm celebrating my birthday and my graduation and my friend's graduation and, you know, my friend's birthday. It's a lot of stuff. Like, how am I going to do all these things? It could be that, something like that. So you're being presented with all these wonderful things like a Four of Wands opportunities. And while this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. So this is here mirroring this Five of Cups, this energy of being ungrateful. Make sure you don't end up in this place and trust that things are happening in the background. Eight of Spring or Eight of Wands can also be about communication, maybe where it didn't exist before. You could be receiving some sort of communication, perhaps specifically by mail, again with Mars in Aquarius, and Aquarius or email, Aquarius ruling technology. That just came to me. Here at the root, atop the Six of Air and things getting better, right? Things looking up and it being the end of a difficult situation, and you may even be going on a trip. Another two, major arcana card number 2, High Priestess is here. Again, this represents the sign of Gemini for me. It can also represent a water sign, however. This is a time to pause and to reflect, not to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts, as nothing is hidden for your divine intervention. Well, because you're wise, right? You're knowing. You have the information that you need. This also very much represents Venus in Cancer for me, because owls are connected to Cancer and Lilith, and Lilith too, actually. If you look up the predecessor of Lilith, the Egyptian god Lilith too, which they often try to pass off as Easter. Every Easter season, they say this is Easter, and it's the owl-footed goddess. That's Lilith too. It's not Easter. In any case, that energy of Cancer could be coming through here too. Cancer is also, of course, very intuitive and connected to owls, which owls are known to be wise. There's also this butterfly here, which is like the death and rebirth of Scorpio. So again, I would say attached to water signs as well. Also, there's a pool of water here, and there's a message going in. So again, maybe specifically something about Mars in Scorpio. Mars, the planet of action, ruler of Scorpio rather, in Aquarius, the air sign Aquarius, which is attached to communication, because we have the letter here falling into a pool of water. So we could be getting some news, just like I just felt when I turned this card over, that some news could be coming. Again, you could be coming into it more than one way. Some of it may be through your intuition in a clear, cognizant sort of way. All of a sudden you know it or feel it, or however your gifts work. Crowning atop the Fool. Four of Summer. Oh no, this represents an opportunity, and this represents blowing an opportunity. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. Yeah, don't let them pass you by. Look into them, is what this is saying. Even if you got a bunch of stuff going on, trust and believe, again, that these things are going to work out well. And so you don't have to give them too much energy. You just like give that to the universe. It's going to work out well. Moving on. Now I can look at this. At the root, atop the Ace of Air, which is another card of victory and truth, the Six of Autumn. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts, acquire wise loans, or to receive a grant or scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money and to reputable charities. So this is our second Six of Autumn during this reading too. This is the card that turned up before from the other deck that I told you represents unconditional love. It is the energy of both giving and or receiving, without condition, without agenda. Just because I'm giving this to you because I want to give to you, I'm receiving it because I'm open to receiving from you. I'm not here wondering what's this person up to, and I'm not up to anything either. We're just exchanging energy freely and genuinely. The end. At the heart of the matter, atop renewal or judgment, major arcana card 20. It's another Two of Autumn. So now we have two Twos of Autumn crossing one another. You may be under stress because of multiple jobs, too many responsibilities for one person to manage. It's important to balance your work and your personal life and to bring a spirit of fun to all you do. So again, we have more twos. They can absolutely involve some sort of partnership, whether it is business or romantic, and a decision that has to be made as to where we're going to go with this. So whether it's a crossroad that we've reached with a romantic relationship or a friendship or a familiar relationship or a job and a work relationship, I think we got to decide here what we're going to do. And for the feminine, again, that can have to do with receiving some sort of news or communication, maybe involving a home. If it's not a home, something that brings you joy. It could be a relationship, you know, new opportunity, something that's going to make you happy and be at peace that you're anxious about. And we've got our share of twos as well. So it can also involve some sort of partnership, again, for us too. I'm going to further clarify these, I don't know, either with advice from the abundance cards or whatever. I'm thinking for a second. In that second to sit back and look at this, though. First of all, I've decided I am going to do the whole spread, but I'm also seeing other stuff. So first of all, mirroring here, we have the High Priestess and the Sun mirroring one another. We have an 11-19 here. This row together equals a 13 or a 4 or 11-11 as well. There's an 11 here with the cups element or the element of summer or water, the 4 and the 7 together. So a lot of partnership. I mean, we had already seen that, but I'm just seeing more and more of it. We have 2 8s mirroring by my era, because this 8 doesn't even go here. It goes here. But I think I was meant to make that mistake so that we could see the 2 8s mirroring. The 8s have been following us for at least a week now. And also it came to me the other day that the month of June this year has an energy of 8. And I just felt that that was what the universe was trying to show me and why the 8s were following me. So 6 plus 2018 or 2 equals 8. What else? I was seeing all these things just now. Well, this is another 11-19 on its own, because 2 equals 11. That may be it as far as that's concerned. The masculine column, again, can be about a choice, about a job, whether or not to continue working so much. He might be working, he might have options on different job to take or a different subject to study, a vocation to learn, to take up. Maybe something in which to get a certificate or whatever that could be coming in. He could feel limited and sort of underwater. Limited and underwater by his capacity at present to earn money and his desire to earn some more. But again, with our overall energy of the 8 of autumn and with these cards here, I feel that when I picked this up, by the way, underneath it is the prince. It could be this prince, the Prince of Summer that's represented here. Also, in addition to options or dreams and goals of things that he might want to do, again, this card can be representative of children. With the sun crowning, it could have something to do specifically with a male child. He could be the male child in question. You know, maybe there's a decision he has to make with regard to his own parents or connection to them. And there may be a masculine considering custody of his child or children. And again, maybe specifically a male child. That's coming to me too. You know, and this is like the 2 going off from a family maybe of 3. And then there's this one over here that's he's doing his own thing completely and believing himself imprisoned. These could be children. Maybe this is a mother. This is the father. The father feeling stuck. Okay. So now I'm going to go to the abundance oracle cards, beginning with positivity, faith, and optimism. You open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. Do not allow negative energy or temporary setbacks to interfere with the path that you are on. Keep the faith going. And that's, again, what the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands both demonstrate. Opening 2. Have courage to ask for and accept help. Asking for help is a sign of strength, as is accepting it. Giving and receiving, and the capacity and ability to do both. Both can be difficult. Sometimes receiving is more difficult for us than it is to give to somebody else. Very often, when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as to give it to others as you're guided. So when you wonder, why is somebody doing something nice for me? They may have been guided by the divine to do something, again, without agenda, freely, in answer to your prayers. Organize for success. Do not let the word organize intimidate you, as it's simply a way of saying that you should ensure clarity of purpose. Organizing your thoughts, reports, your living space, your workspace, and your finances will help you to know and plan your next action steps. Positivity, faith, and optimism, and one more. Well, they're showing me two. Okay. So the first is quiet retreat. It's time to disconnect from the outer world so that you can discern and process your true thoughts and feelings from the inner world. Create this quiet time for yourself, and you will have more clarity about what to do next. So this is a good idea for those of us who have this decision to make that keeps popping up in the reading. And the last is block out distractions. Your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention. So it's time for you to take charge of your schedule, your working environment, by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what the distractions are, and you have the power to responsibly block them out. It's safe for you to receive. The more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and to be a conduit for good coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. What did I just say about the ability and capacity to receive? And after plenty shuffling, it is safe for you to receive is our overall energy nonetheless. Atop the sun and right, the two of earth, our decision. Focus on your priorities. Where you put your focus is where you receive your outcome. Your priorities are crawling to you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety. It has, right? With the 9 of Swords. And down here in your subconscious with the 8 of Swords and with the 5 of Cups. And that anxiety will be there unless you give it time and attention that it deserves. Even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities will help you to feel better and more confident. So whatever this decision is, or your need for balance that you have to, address and sort out, is where you should be putting your attention. And again, you give to the universe and it will return, help you out with what you want to do. And your plans will work out well in this regard, whatever it is. Atop the 7 of Summer and the 10 of Fire is sever, not 7, vows of poverty. So as was evident here, that there might be something going on with money or with the desire to work. You feel like you don't have enough money, masculine, right? That's what I've been saying. It could be because of not only something in your present life, but maybe even a past life. You could have taken some sort of vow of poverty that's yet to be released from you. Now, this card is about to tell us how we can work on doing that ourselves. Some people sometimes, I just feel like I have to tell you, require more than that. And then there are other people who can help them with that. I'm one of them, but I'm not the only one. But to help people sever old vows and hexes and all kinds of foolishness that could be blocking your progress. In any case, getting back to this, dear one, there's no need to suffer or to sacrifice. Hold the intention of undoing any vows of poverty or self-denial that you may have made. Right. We can do this in our own life, you know, in this present lifetime, just by our negative talk and speech over ourselves. And I've talked a lot, particularly to the masculine, about this, you know, this things that we speak and think over our own lives. We could have done this consciously or unconsciously in any lifetime. And as you do so, all effects, you know, as you work on removing them, all effects of these vows will be undone for everyone involved in all directions of all time. Top the 8 of winter and the 5 of water. Ask for your needs to be met. Instead of worrying, this is worry here, as I pointed out a few minutes ago. Instead of doing this, ask for your needs to be met. God and the angels can come to your aid only if you make free will choices to be helped. And it begins with asking. It doesn't matter how you ask God for help, but only that you do. The same holds true with clearly asking other people to assist you. Top the 9 of winter and the, what was it, the 8 of cups? The 4. Oh, well, I said cups. I meant wands anyway, but it was neither. It's the 4 of wands, the 4 of fire. Donations, tithing, and charitable work. Give joyfully to the organizations and people who spiritually support and inspire you. And know that your generosity will be returned to you many-fold in miraculous ways. The time, supplies, money, and other resources you donate will ensure that your positive energy multiplies. So here where you have negative energy and you're trying to get your joy restored, one of the ways that we can do that is by helping others to achieve joy, spreading the positive energy and sharing it amongst others, especially if we have an abundance. Giving to somebody else to help them to be abundant too and to grow further abundant is the way to go. Atop the 8 of spring and the 10 of swords is gratitude list. Counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have. I talked about this before too, with these 2 pockets of cards here. Again, the 9 of air that's sitting here atop the 4 of wands and the 10 of air that's sitting here underneath this 8 of wands, that we needed to be thankful and make sure we don't slip into this energy that's mirroring it of the 5 of cups. That is energy of being ungrateful and arrogant. Counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you to be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. What and who are you grateful for right now? Keep focusing upon that gratitude and you'll discover the amazing generosity of the universe. Top the high priestess and the 6 of air. Let go of guilt. When you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself about them. That makes particular sense, not only here, sitting here atop the high priestess, which can be about dysmorphia. I usually connect it to more so body, but we could be thinking about, we could be judging ourselves in other ways, but also it's crossing judgment, we'll remember. So it makes total sense there. Crowning the union atop the 4 of summer and the Fool. Cooperation instead of competition. What's yours is yours and no one can take it from you. There's no need to compete and there's abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share with others. Sitting here next to this card that guides us to share, and sitting here crowning where the 6 of earth is mirroring, the 6 of earth also guides us to share, right, with unconditional love. You have complete access to this unlimited abundance for yourself and for others. With cooperative partnerships, there goes that word partnerships again, you can accomplish anything. atop the ace of air and that 6 of autumn of earth, words of abundance. And see how it's crossing the vows of poverty, masculine? This is what I was talking about when we, instead of speaking negativity over ourselves, words of abundance. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms. And that is what you'll attract for yourself and for others. So it makes perfect sense that it's here, because this is about helping yourself and helping others by helping yourself, you know, by that exchange of energy. And then again, crossing where we need to sever the vows of poverty. Instead of I'm broke, oh, woe is me, I'm sad, I'm miserable, I'm lowly, I have no one, I have no thing, and all that kind of stuff. Instead of that, you know, I am abundant. I am successful. I can help others. I will help others. I do help others. I'm going to go do it right now. You know, that sort of thing. Across all aspects of existence, throughout all eternity, I rebuke, remove, revoke any vows of poverty I have ever taken in any lifetime, in any way, you know, through any means, in the name of whatever it is you pray, or yourself, whatever. Amen. Or I say, however you choose to do it. At the heart of the matter, atop the 2 of autumn and judgment. Aww, man, this is essentially a bunch of 2s. Partnership, the 2 of autumn, we got to make a choice, and renewal, judgment. 2, 2, 2. Allow healthful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and your career, and both parties benefit as a result. You're receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. I was just made to see justice. I was picking up the deck of cards and I fell way short of doing that. I only picked up this little bit and revealed Major Arcana card, Justice, also upright. Fair and just decisions will be made after all evidence is reviewed impartially. Have compassion for others and try to see all sides of a disagreement. Major Arcana card, Justice, in addition to being another 8 and representing abundance and infinity and justice itself, and build, destroy in supreme math, which means if you're not like helping, you're destroying. If you're not helping to build or to heal, like the sirens outside, then you are destroying. If you're not with us, you're against us, sort of thing. And you got to decide if there's anybody like that around you that you need to remove. Otherwise, this is about the positivity that is coming your way from the universe, from that karmic energy. That's another thing the 8s represent, karma. So if you're deciding to go into business partnership or romantic partnership or friendship, or to make up with somebody, like you've got to, the feminine, we've got to let go of the old guilt. You could be, again, having a partnership with a child, masculine, seeking custody of a child, with whomever the partnership is. If we put that effort forth and seek what it is we need, we feel we need from the universe, it's going to, we'll be blessed with that. If we have, we maintain that positive energy, that it will actually happen. You know, prayer without works and without faith, it's dead, is what the scriptures say. All right, further advice to the masculine. The king of water. He is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work. which to me, charity work is love. And we've gotten all these messages about, again, giving and receiving charity. The king of water, by the way, is a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or somebody likened to those traits or attributes. I didn't mention it, but I was like, where's the Six of Water? Because I so felt this energy of the Six of Water with regard to our partnerships. Very nice. Also with regard to children. There is a soulmate card. It's a card about children, memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, and romanticizing the past. So like I said, we could also be the child too. May have an issue with our parents, or maybe dealing with something that has come up in our karma that's, like risen from within, something that we have to deal with from childhood that we never resolved. And then maybe that's why we're dealing with judgment, the energy of judgment. And the animals, ooh, it's another Ace of Winter. Remember, we have one here that fits very appropriately with words of abundance. Ace of Air is about truth. Truth, victory, speaking victory over your life, speaking positivity over your life, letting that become your truth, your reality. The masculine has a second one of his own. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start. Remember, the Ace of Winter is a new beginning that was difficult getting to, right? Yeah, the road was rough, as they say, climbing there, but you're there now. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. So if you feel yourself like running into trouble, don't let that stop you. Remember, that there's just a lesson in there somewhere, but that you're meant to succeed in this. And you're being given all the tools to succeed. Feminine, for us, not as good, at least with this card. I'm not a fan. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others. Five of Winter, for me, is not only a card of conflict or a card that indicates the need for change of energy because it's a 5, but more often than not conflict in which we ourselves had a hand, whether inadvertent or malicious. Like something we said or did put something in motion that caused this conflict to come about. And it can be as simple as I've described it as like you step on a stranger's foot or they step on your foot. It's up to you how you react is going to determine what else happens. But also it can be where, like it says, to watch out for the agendas of others. It can be where other people set you up. Other people try to convince you to, do as they would, or maybe gossiping, filling your head with stuff, filling, either in your ear with different bullshit. And then the next thing you know, you're taking some sort of action or stand or, speaking against something or someone as well. And then it comes back to bite you in the ass, as they say. So watch out for this, because this is not major arcana. It's only a 5. We don't have to allow this into our lives. We can avoid that. And from the abundance oracle to the masculine, dreams of abundance. Okay, you've got a card of dreams and goals and things here with the 7 of summer. Severing the vows of poverty and replacing them with dreams of abundance. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you to manifest your desires into reality. And last but not least, visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. And that, my dears, is this right here. Focus on this: peace, joy, happiness, commitment, marriage, love, and not this negativity. And this is what you will have. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the weekly general reading and that you enjoy your partnerships. Good luck with all those. regardless of whatever nature they are. And I'll be back with love. Namaste, angels.